Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the Bat Châtillon Bourrasque. It's a Tier 8 French premium medium located on the northeast corner of Westfield. This one's under the command of the BassmanFromHell, and you may have seen him in this tank recently when he had a really great win with RBRN2 Game on. Well, it's armed with a 105mm main gun, capable of 360 alpha, penetrating 190mm of armour with standard APCR. It's got a 2-short autoloader, so it's capable of a burst damage of 720 if both shots connect and you get an average roll. Now, the standard reload time is normally 21.54 seconds, but I believe the Bassman's managed to get it down to 20.2, and there's a 2-second intra-clip reload. Now, he set this particular Bourrasque up for scouting, but he does also have a version which is for DPM, and he selects which one he's going to use right at the start of the battle, depending on the map. Okay, so we spotted some enemy. Gets his first shot in and kills an EBR, and the second shot bounces off a T-44. So good, he's on the scoreboard, got the first kill of the game. Yes, 20.2 seconds is the Bassman's reload time, which is, well, it's at least a second and a half better, or second and a bit bitter. Okay, so he's creeping up on these guys. Unload a couple of shells into them. Panther first. Yep, gets a hit. And another. And he gets a high roll on those two for 850. Now, we can see a T-43. He's taking damage. Still waiting for the reload to go through. And that Panther looks like he's headed our way. Yeah, I think he got really upset. He knows that Bourrasque does have a long reload. And he finishes him off with the next shot. Now, is he going to pop the reload, or is he going to stay there with just one shell? No, because he's going to use that shell, and he gets a high roll. It's 329. Or is it a low roll? It's a low roll. Yes, 360 alpha. Okay, he is rather close to these guys, who will spot him if he does fire. He gets too close. That's better. And that shot was a high roll, and he got a low roll directly after. Now, he did get spotted. That's unfortunate, because the guys across the valley would then try to take advantage of that. There's an SP1C over there who might be amongst the trees waiting for the opportunity. Because basically, the Bourrasque is a combination of two light tanks, and he's been spotted again. It must be that SP1C. It's basically a Bat Châtillon 12-ton and the EBR 105. Oh, good shot on the 3002D. I tried to connect for the second one, but it didn't work. Now, I think that SP1C is busy at the moment, but he actually nudges the EBR in his own team, who takes a shot from the enemy T-44. But the T-44, oh, unfortunately, he killed the Hotchkiss. Now, he's still got a large amount of health, that T-44. Can he get a shot into the turret? Yes, he can. There's first. There's the second, but he does take a round from that 3002D, who probably wasn't impressed getting hit earlier on. Yeah, Bassman saying, hit that guy. Obviously, his teammates didn't finish it off when they should have. And he seems to be doing quite well as he's going around the outside. Okay, he can see the BK. I'm not sure the BK can see him though. He probably can now. And he kills him off with the next round. So 4 kills now for Bassman. There's a T28 HTC getting close, and we're approaching the enemy Arty, which in this case is a GW Panther. Don't want to get hit by that T28, because remember, he's got a 105mm gun as well, but he is tier 7 and he's rather slow. And here comes the Arty, 15cm howitzer on this guy. There he is, straight through the gun shield, and there's the kill shot. 5 kills now. He's racked up 3,700 hit points of damage, but his team are still one tank down on the enemy. Okay, can you get a shot into that Shrek? Nope, couldn't get the shot before he dipped down into the dip. Getting as close as he can without getting hit, using the cover. He's decided to go for the APCR this time. Of course, the T28 has come low. He is in the valley area. Trying to disengage. He's actually selected the HE for his next shot, and the enemy apparently are around at our end of the map, and he's just spotted the T28. Unfortunately, he's loaded the wrong shell, so he's had to reload and go to APCR again. First shot into the rear of the T28, and he tries a blind shot on the next one. We don't know if that connected. And so the unfortunate thing is that we don't know if we connected with that T28, but it could be waiting for us to get close. Oh, it probably did actually, because he's got only 46 hit points left, and he's gone. The P43 turret got him in the end. Now, unfortunately, we lost our own Arty at the other end of the map, and the enemy technically could have our cap. It all depends on if that BZ58 and the Lurva have made their way down to our cap area. I suspect that they might be coming in this direction to protect their own cap. In fact, the Shrek has just turned up, and he's right at the village, the valley end of the village, and they are capping with two, so I suspect it is the BZ58 that's around there. In fact, it's not the Shrek, it's the... or it is a Shrek, rather, yes, actually. The one that's capping is the Skoda T56 and possibly the BZ58. So he needs to get over there as quickly as he can, otherwise they're going to cap out. And he comes across the Shrek, finishes him off with one round, so there's his top gun. But he needs to get to the cap area. Well, one of them's left the cap area. They decapped. Now, why did they do that? Do they think that they can win this one? There's the Skoda, so it's not the Skoda that's in the cap, it must be the BZ and the Lurva. Waiting for the reload to go in. Fires one into the end of the Skoda. No, he's got the front end of it. He didn't. No, he got a critical hit, but he didn't connect. And now he's trying to increase his range on the Skoda so he can go round and hit the guys in the cap, or the guy in the cap rather, because it's only one. But he's got a little way to drive to get into position. Meanwhile, our P43 is going for the Skoda. Let's hope that this guy's in a position where he can hit him. Yes, he is. One shot. And the Lurva. No, he misses with the shot. And it was the other one that was capping. And that means they capped out. Oh. Here's the end of battle results, and that was the first ace tanker game for BassmanFromHell in the Bourrasque. Sadly, he hit the wrong tank that was sitting in the cap. The enemy BZ58 drove into the cap, but it was the Lurva who had all the cap points, and he was on the other side of the cap, and so he managed to cap out whilst the Bassman managed to kill the other tank in the cap, and unfortunately it was the wrong one. So sadly, he couldn't get that that win. It did end up in a defeat by losing their cap. But it was the first ace tanker, so congratulations for the Bassman from that one. He also got a 5 for effect for doing more damage and hit points to his own vehicle. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 8. And he got a top gun as well for getting at least 6 kills. In fact, he ended up with 7. And he was one short of getting a Radley Waters. And he probably would have killed that Lurva if he managed to get a shot in time, but sadly it didn't work and the enemy won. So if we look at the next screen, okay, unfortunately, because of course the replay problem, we're having to use the screen prints that Bassman was able to provide us with, And we can see that the maximum damage he did manage to do in that game was 5,084 hit points of damage, but sadly the Skoda T56 managed 5,130, and I suspect he got the high caliber out of that game. So Bassman got the second highest damage, and the third highest damage, well, that went to the Bourrasque on our team with 2,230 hit points. When it came to kills, it was the Bassman, 7 kills to him, 5 kills to the Skoda T56, and then 2 kills to the P43 and the Peugeot 46, and also to the T20H HTC on the enemy team and their Shrek. And when it came to base XP, it's actually the Skoda T56 who did the best with 1,391. Then came Bassman with 1,035, so he was over 1,000, even though he lost the game. And then the third highest on base XP turned out to be the Lurver, who actually got the cap points at the end, which managed to win the game. And I think he managed to get an Invader as well out of that one. He got 808 experience points out of the game. So let's have a look at detail. Well, we can see that the Bassman managed to get 23 shots off in that game, 20 direct hits on the enemy, 18 penetrations, 5,084 hit points of damage, of which 1,559 were at more than 300 meters. He did receive 1 hit. It was a penetration. Well, the armor on this vehicle is negligible, so if you do get hit, it normally goes straight through. The armor on the front of the hull is only 40 millimeters. The rest of the hull is either 20, 20, or 15, or 10. So, yes, you're not really going to stop a shell with armor, unless you're lucky enough to get the shell into the tracks. He also spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 10 of the enemy, killed 7, and 1,635 hit points of damage assistance. I think that may have been spotting assist. And he got 6 defense points when he reset the cap. That was the BZ58, I think, when he reset the cap. If only he'd hit the Lurver, he would have had a Defender medal as well. 143,213 credits for the battle, 10,800 for Courageous Resistance. That's because he got a Top Gun in a losing or drawn game. 154,013 credits altogether, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables took away 93,967 credits profit and 15,401 to credit reserve. 1,552 XP for the battle, 881 for Courageous Resistance, 243 for this being a premium vehicle, and 2,676 experience points altogether. What can I say? So sad that this was an ace tanker game and a Top Gun, very close to a Radley Walters. I would have done exactly the same. I would have seen the BZ first, I would have shot at him, and then realised a second or so later that the tank that actually had the cap points was the Lurver, and that's when they would have capped out. He had no chance of getting a second shot off to hit the Lurver before he capped. So it was, you know, the first thing he saw, and sadly it was the wrong one. It happens to all of us in the end, but at least he's got an ace tanker in the Bourrasque, which is difficult to get because the standard's so high. A lot of people play this tank. It is a really good tank, very dangerous tank. It does have poor gun handling, but it's a hitman's tank. It's an assassin. It rolls up, plants 2 rounds into you and drives away before you can do anything about it. It's a combination of those 2 light tanks, the big hitting gun of the EBR 105, and then the fast movement of a Bat Châtillon 12-ton, to being able to get away and cause huge amounts of damage to the enemy. So nice that he's got an ace, sad that it was on a defeat, but it was a good replay. I think nobody can say he didn't try hard in that one. And as well, the fact is that he did have the setup for the scouting version, not for the DPM. If he'd had the DPM, he probably would have loaded a lot quicker as well, and then he probably would have been able to get the damage on the enemy faster. But there again, sometimes it goes like that. This is a map where it helps actually having the scouting mode, because of course you want to be able to see as far as possible to get shots on the enemy and shoot them from long distance. And the DPM version is much better for town maps and maps where there's lots of obstacles you can hide behind and then pump the damage in and quickly get away. So I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give the video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.